Today, we're going to fundamentally rewire how you think about business growth. We're cutting through all the usual hype to examine a genuine operational revolution. We are breaking down Chapter 1 of the definitive 2026 MetaFin.x Field Manual, The Ghost Workforce, by Sam Ariel. And honestly, we are going to completely dismantle this old-school idea that scaling your output means you have to endlessly scale your human headcount.
The author, Samal, actually anchors this entire philosophy with one killer quote. You will never outwork 1,000 competitors, but you can outbuild them. And man, that really sets the tone for everything we're going to cover today. Because if you're still stuck in that mindset of 60-hour work weeks, just brute forcing your way to success, you're playing a losing game. The future absolutely belongs to those who stop grinding and start architecting.
To really grasp where we are right now, we have to look at how incredibly fast things have moved. Think about it. Back in 2019, if someone ran a seven-figure business with literally 0 employees, the internet treated them like an absolute unicorn. I mean, it was basically a magic trick. But, as the source material brilliantly points out, by 2026, this isn't a magic trick anymore. It's a highly documented, totally repeatable methodology. The folks pulling this off aren't just lucky outliers anymore. They're operators who spotted a massive paradigm shift way before the rest of the pack did.
Okay, so here's our game plan for today. We'll hit 5 key areas. First, the 0-employee business. Second, defining the ghost. Third, the 3 eras of labor. Fourth, the math of leverage. And finally, number 5, the 4-layer blueprint. Let's dive in.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the 0-employee business, a totally different kind of company. Here is the absolute crux of the matter. The fundamental unit of business growth has quietly changed. It's no longer about the people you hire. It is now entirely about the systems you deploy. Seriously, to scale your operations today without drowning in management overhead and those skyrocketing payroll costs, you have to completely sever the mental link between getting more work done and hiring more human beings.
Moving right along to Section 2, defining the ghost, or what we like to call the invisible team.
So, what does this all mean? What actually is a ghost? Well, a ghost is definitely not just some metaphor for boring, rigid automation. It's an AI agent, a workflow, or a whole system that takes a task that used to require a hired human and it performs it invisibly, tirelessly, and, this is absolutely crucial, without any supervision. It doesn't take sick days, it doesn't ghost you, pun intended, during your busiest month. It is a genuine, invisible staff number.
Let's make this abstract concept a bit more concrete. Imagine deploying these 3 real ghost roles today. First, you have the mouthpiece. This ghost takes one single recorded idea and turns it into a full week of content across all your platforms, and you don't even have to touch a keyboard. Then there's the gatekeeper. This one replies to and qualifies brand new leads within 90 seconds, even if it's 2 a.m. on a Sunday. And finally, the accountant. It tracks every single dollar coming in and out, flags any weird anomalies, and literally emails you a clean financial summary every Monday morning. These aren't just neat software features, they are real roles executing real work.
Which brings us to Section 3, the 3 eras of labor and the whole evolution of work.
This evolutionary timeline just makes so much sense when we step back and look at it. Era 1, so pre-2015, that was human only. Every customer service ticket, every single sales follow-up, it all ran through people. Headcount was quite literally your only lever for growth. Then we hit Era 2, roughly 2015 to 2022, and this was tool-assisted. We got CRMs, we got digital schedulers. They definitely made humans faster, but a human was still the primary operator, clicking the buttons on every single tool. And now, we are fully in Era 3, the ghost workforce era. This is where AI agents actually take over and perform the task entirely on their own.
And you know, this shift really highlights the exact trap most businesses are currently stuck in. So many people are still operating in Era 2. They treat AI like it's just a slightly faster typewriter. As Samal points out, in Era 2, AI is essentially a faster shovel, but guess what? You still have to dig. The operators who are actually winning today have fully transitioned to Era 3. They don't use AI as a tool, they deploy it as staff. The system doesn't just ping you with a reminder to follow up with a client, it literally writes the email and follows up for you. The shovel digs itself.
Let's dig into the numbers. In Section 4, the math of leverage, and how you compound your output. Just let this underlying math sink in for a second. 1 human hour multiplied by AI leverage equals anywhere from 10 to 100 ghost hours. If you spend 3 hours this week building a content ghost, it is going to produce 6 solid months of content without you spending another single minute on that underlying system. The time you invest in building a ghost is not consumed, it is compounded. And that right there, that is the definition of true modern leverage.
Now, I know some of you might be feeling a bit of discomfort about this whole idea of replacing humans, and the source material actually addresses this fear head-on. This isn't about creating some hollow, empty office. It's about eliminating the wrong kind of human bottleneck. Things like data entry, repetitive scheduling, manual follow-ups. These tasks literally never required a human brain. They just ate up human time. If you or your team are spending hours doing these things, that isn't actually work. That is a ghost-shaped hole in your operation. The ultimate goal here is a business where every human spends 100% of their time on tasks that require actual judgment, real creativity, and deep relationship building.
All right, finally, we arrive at Section 5, the 4-layer blueprint for building the organism.
What we're talking about isn't just a random messy pile of disconnected apps. This brilliantly illustrates the actual structured organizational chart of your new invisible company. It's a 4-layer organism explicitly designed to scale without you having to constantly hold its hand.
Let's walk through these 4 layers step by step so you can see how it all clicks together. Layer 1 is your nervous system. This is the connective infrastructure using platforms like Make or Zapier that lets every single ghost talk to each other so you don't just end up with a digital junk drawer. Layer 2 is the brain room. This is the intelligence layer where massive models like Claude or GPT do the heavy lifting, the actual thinking and deciding. Layer 3 contains your specialist ghosts. These are the role-specific ones we talked about earlier, like the mouthpiece or the accountant. And finally, Layer 4 is the foreman. This is the orchestration layer that actively manages the other systems, hunts for new operational gaps, and ensures the whole organism runs smoothly without your daily oversight.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to drop a question on you that gets straight to the heart of everything we've just unpacked. Take a hard look at your current operations. Look at those monthly software subscriptions you pay for and the tedious tasks you do every single day. Are you genuinely building a tireless, invisible workforce, or are you just buying faster shovels and continuing to dig the hole yourself? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer on the Ghost Workforce methodology.